please join me for a contemplation exploring the element of earth. The earth element has the specific qualities of cold and dry. It's a heavy element and has both gravity and magnetism. The earth element absorbs things into itself and generates things from itself. Though the earth element has great inertia, it can also have great momentum because it's associated with cycles. In the material universe, we'd associate the earth element with all matter in its solid form. So a stone, a rock, or even a mountain would be an ideal symbol for the earth element. Since the dawn of mankind, we have always used the earth element for protection, whether it be hiding in a cave, building a barrier, making a home, carrying a stick, or making weapons from stones. In fact, we learnt very early on that everything we need to improve our life can be found in the earth element. Whether it be food in the form of plants, grains, fruits, nuts, bulbs, or whether it be hidden treasure that we dig out from the earth itself. This could be stones which we build things with. It could be special stones like flints that we can use to make knives or weapons. It could be certain special stones that if we smelt them we can get metal from. Or it could be precious metal or precious stones that we can use as currency. In the body, we'd associate the earth element with all solids, namely the bones, the nails, the teeth, and it's associated with the taste and smell. The senses that help you take on physical matter to help you eat. The earth element is also connected with nature, and although nature provides, it also takes away. We come from the soil, but we also return to it. This cycle of death, life, and then death can be connected with the earth element. Likewise, all cycles, such as the seasons or the interconnectedness between different plants and animals and what eats or feeds or relies on what, these are all associated and ruled by earth. Early on we observed certain interesting things about earth. We could see that crystals grew, that stalagmites and stalactites grew, so we knew that growth was associated with the earth elements. We saw seeds growing in the soil, and thus the earth element has always been associated with fertility. And lots of our worship of the earth goddess, of Mother Nature in all her various guises, has been through sacrifice, giving something to get something back, to trigger this cycle. In ancient times, we used stones to create sacred places. We tuned into ley lines and utilised their energy. It has always been held that certain stones, certain woods or plants have healing or beneficial properties. And this could be because observing the natural world, we saw that anything that brought nature out of harmony would heal and recover. And the same was true of our body. This cohesive, binding, repairing force has always been connected with earth. And you've probably heard of certain folk remedies that involve transferring a sore back into a tree or an illness into a stone. I know of one ancient text that actually recommends you lie in soil in order to recover from serious injury. And modern science is starting to prove that this connection is there. Studies have shown that if you spend time looking at nature, it's good for you psychologically and it's stress relieving. Likewise, if you spend time amongst trees, this has a tonifying effect on your nervous system and helps you to function more efficiently. I saw one amazing study that said that actually touching soil, the act of interacting with soil, such as in gardening, had a significant effect on depression and really lifted people's moods. These are the qualities of the earth element itself and the earth element in nature. But what of in the mental world? What of in the personality? In order to explore this, I'd like to start by describing the qualities someone would have if they had fully mastered the earth element. Let's think of an earthy person who uses those earthy qualities in a good way and is in control of them. We have many different terms for someone who has this kind of personality. Salt of the earth, as solid as a rock, down to earth, feet on the ground. There's actually a lovely phrase, a lovely saying that in English we use, which is, he's a brick. And a brick is an ally you can rely on completely. So we intrinsically connect earth qualities with reliability and stability, with a realistic, practical perception of the world. And these are indeed the qualities that we could see in a positive expression of earth. A earth person will be a very stable, reliable, loyal friend. They will be able to see through many different options to the actual practical answer. The earth way of viewing the world is to be it, own it. What you have is what you are. And this is true in the body as in our actual material possessions. So someone who's very in tune with their earth element will probably keep quite fit. And I don't mean that in a very flashy way, not in an appearance sense, probably more in walking and actually doing things. They're more likely to be digging the garden than they are down the gym. A earth element person who has mastered earth will be very good at getting and keeping good things and letting go of or ignoring negative things. There's a wonderful old story, a myth about a golden fleece, a special fleece which comes from a certain sheep, and when put in a river that has gold in it, the fur has a certain quality that all the dirt washes through, but the gold stays. So you don't have to pan for gold, you just put the fleece in, it comes out golden. The earth element person who's mastered earth has the golden fleece. So whether it be money, objects, the right people, the right place, the right habits, they hold on to the good stuff and let go of the negative. The earth quality person will have expressions would relate to earth. They'll be slow and ponderous. They'll use their hands lots, and their body will be as if weighted down. They tend to be very practical and very good listeners, though they do only look in terms of solutions, so sometimes it's hard to see when they're trying to help if you're after an emotional answer rather than a practical one. To them, what you have is who you are. So often they will judge material wealth as a realistic benchmark of your genuine value. If people aren't willing to pay you to do it, it's not something worth doing. So the size of your house, the value of your car is your status in life. And they will also gather items which they associate with what they want to achieve. So sometimes this doesn't manifest so much as focusing on gathering money if the person isn't so ambitious, but it will be gathering things associated with their loves. So it could be the person that you know who loves Native American traditions. They love shamanism, so everything they wear, everything they gain, their whole house, their car, has symbols or objects related to it. It could be the collector who just needs to get that extra action figure or that book or that film. They will gather items that they believe will bring the qualities they want. So to the earth person, objects are talismans. They want to be happy, they'll get flowers. They want things to be uplifting, they'll put a picture which is uplifting on the wall. The earth quality allows them to be stoic. So often they'll just accept things as a means to cope. They will have persistence and endurance that other people don't have. They will use this persistence, this routine and this centered calmness to achieve their goals. Sometimes you could be amazed by how economical they are because they've only kept the good habits. And often a earth person seems a bit old for their age. Sometimes they're wise before their time and a bit solid and a little bit rigid. And this moves me to the other possible expression of earth. What if the earth element is dominating the person rather than being utilised by them? What if they haven't mastered this? Well, we have many sayings for this as well. Someone who has too much earth is pig-headed or bull-headed. They're very heavy character. They could be someone that you say digs their heels in all the time. So we're looking at the same qualities that the person that we just described has, but they're out of control. So that stoicness has become insensitivity and they trample over people. That association between objects being what they really are can mean that they judge themselves and others very negatively. And they can become preoccupied by physical objects and their own body. So they talk endlessly about who owns what, who's buying what can be bought, and the small detail. And sometimes they become caught in the details of the material universe because physical things are the only things for them. So they see a lot more than you see. Because they don't have many tools in their toolbox, they will use earth qualities to achieve everything or to make up for lack. They'll never work smart. So they'll just work hard. If they want to find a needle in a haystack, they'll look at every single piece of hay rather than using a magnet. And they will expect others to have the same level of persistence, determination and work ethic that they have. And see any use of intuition or cleverness or a shortcut as cheating and immoral. Often they achieve what they want by being stubborn. So someone who's got a legitimate concern will just be ignored. And this is because they can't change. They're stuck in a solid state. What they do is the only thing they can. They've tried changing before, it doesn't work. So it's better to make you change by wearing you down. Their belongings own them, not the other way around. And they often spend a lot of time worrying about their belongings, even if sometimes that worry looks like celebration. The coldness of earth, it can mean that they ignore very human problems that they could solve because it's too much for them. The healthy barriers that could be created with the earth elements become too many barriers, and it's often like there's a wall between you and them when you're talking to them. And the slowness can become lethargy, and the heaviness can become depression. And an earth element person can sometimes feel the weight of the world upon them. It can really weigh them down. Often you'll find someone who is predominantly earth is mostly in either a positive expression or mostly in a negative expression, and it takes a very long time for them to switch from one to another. And it really is binary. It's either one or the other. I don't know why this is. Most other elements are more mixed, but either the earth element is completely harmonious and working for them, or it's not, and it's very hard to go in between the two. So the earth element person who is being controlled by earth can't let go of bad things and can't hold on to good things. But what of the earth element in the body? Someone who is predominantly earth will probably have quite a strong body, quite a thick body. They'll have a great appetite. If there isn't enough earth element in the body, then our bones tend to suffer. You can get brittle bones or other problems, and this happens more in women than men. If there's too much earth, often you'll see knee problems or ankle problems manifest. But likewise, sometimes problems absorbing food or eliminating food. So sometimes it could be a problem to do with letting go of something. So your tear duct could get blocked. It could be that you feel ill and you can't throw up. It could be something that involves the toxins not being released or liquids not being released from the body. Too much earth can mean great tiredness, and someone who's got too much earth can sleep all the time. Foods which are associated with earth would be the kind of thing you'd have in a roast meal. Lots of meat, lots of fat in various different forms. Fat is very associated with the earth element. Root vegetables, potatoes and carrots, these kind of things. And the particular taste that earth element people like is normally sweet. Earth is associated with comfort. They want material comforts. Remember, what you have, where you are, that is you. So they all like comfort food as well. And you can use this knowledge to tune into earth. If you're lacking in earth, eat more of this food. If you want less earth, eat less of it. And likewise, you can use the activities I mentioned. So if you want to be more earthy, dig the garden, build things, make things. This is a way of bringing the earth element to yourself. If we learn to fully utilise the earth element, we need to be careful. And the key is to look for quality, not quantity. A happy house doesn't have to be a big house. Earth element people and people who are mastering the earth element in themselves have an opportunity to really help the world. What others dream of, think of, and talk about good things, the earth element person can actually clothe the naked, feed the poor, can bring blessings into the real physical world. And the focus on quality is the key to allowing them to do this. Fully master the earth element, and then you will have such abundance that you can be generous and help everyone else, just as the earth itself takes to give back plenty.